To get all of the Citadel de Mort elemental swords, you must open both sides of the spawn and open up the cannon. Now, once you open up the cannon, make sure you go to the oubliette room, open up the locks, take out the doppelgas, pick up his crystal, and then deposit it in the portal. Now, you're going to want to make sure that you're past round 10 or you cannot do this next step. Also, go behind Quick Revive, talk to Crap if you want to know what's going on, and Crusader Knight Helmet zombies will spawn in and they will drop a stamp. Pick up the stamp, and for the first sword, Caliburn, the fire dragon sword, you're going to want to deposit it to the left of this gate here, pick up his sword, and then bring it all the way to this dragon statue. Now, you're going to want to find 3 cauldrons with fire. The first one is right next to the cannon, and once you pick this up, you're going to be taking perpetual 10 damage every single second. Now, the only way you're actually able to heal from this is by taking out the zombies, and what you're going to want to do is deposit it at the dragon statue. The second one is to the left of the spawn, and again, stamina PhD slider with the augments is an absolute godsend for this because you're just able to zoom through this. And once you have the second one, then you deposit it. And the third one is right next to the spawn rampage inducer. Pick up this last fire essence and run back to the dragon statue. And ladies and gentlemen, you have the Caliburn sword. And in my opinion, this is actually the second most powerful sword in this map because not only can you parry with it and that defends you, but you also get a massive special attack that shoots out a big ball of fire. And I should mention that when you're making all of these elemental swords, you're only able to grab 1 stamp at a time. So for the next Durendal lightning sword, again, take out another Crusader helmet zombie, pick up his stamp, and deposit the stamp to the knight to the right of this gate. Now, once you pick up the sword, you're going to need to get a gun with dead wire as an ammo mod. And once you do that, come to Speed Cola and look for this antenna. And right underneath it, you're going to find a power box. Shoot it with the dead wire weapon and you're going to find a lightning rod. Now, this is one of 3 that you need to collect. The second one is right next to dead shot, and then the third one is going to be given to you when you use your sword randomly on an enemy. It doesn't have to be a boss, and once you pick up that third lightning rod, then you're going to be able to come up to the hillside ramparts, deposit it here, and literally all you have to do is hold out the sword and wait for it to get shocked with lightning. You can literally just hold the zombie while you're doing this, and once it gets shocked with lightning, hit the vase once, then wait again, hit the vase twice, and then on the third time, you're actually able to deposit the sword and get the Durendal lightning sword. Now, unfortunately, I do believe this is the worst sword because as you can see, the special attack is very slow. It is range, which is nice, but it's just not that powerful. Now, for the third sword, we're going to have to go for the Solais. Now, the Solais sword, again, get another stamp, and then once you get this sword, you're going to need to knife a parasite that's glowing, and then come to the upper village and knife this door. And so what that's going to do is going to put symbols on the door. You need to put 3-4 symbols on the door. Once you put the 4th symbol on the door, you're actually going to be able to enter in again. Make sure you're doing this on a low round so that you can go in. Click F to knock on the door to enter in once all 4 symbols are here. I'd really recommend you have decoy grenades for this. Take out the zombies here and deposit the sword. And what you're going to want to do is look at the top of the podium, and this circle with a dot symbol in it, you have to shoot first. So wait until it's stopped moving. Wait until it's actually on the wall, then shoot it. And then the second one was a snowflake, then shoot that symbol. Again, if you shoot it in the air, it's not going to work. Throw decoys if they're bothering you. My third symbol was the triangle. Shoot that on the wall. Again, it can be finicky, so just wait until it actually goes. And then the last one is the other circle symbol. Shoot the last symbol, and once you have done that, you will get the Solais sword. Now, I think this is probably the 3rd best sword. It activates a special ability that's very similar to the Black Ops 4 chakrams that basically take out all the zombies in front of you. It's not as powerful though as the chakrams, so I'd definitely be wary about this. But for the best sword, and the one you're all probably wanting, this is the Balmung shadow sword. Now, to get this, obviously the first step you're going to want to do is, again, take out another Crusader Knight zombie and pick up the stamp. Now, you're going to want to go into the alchemical lab room and look around this room. There's going to be something called an antiquity. It could be on the desk, it could be on the shelves. Jump around at the shelves and make sure you pick up this antiquity. You'll absolutely be able to see it on the top right once you get it. Now, once you have it, go to the pack punch and take this slide. This is a very important slide, and while you're here, you can actually shoot a raven if you want to continue doing the Easter egg. It'll be right on that rock there, but if not, you're going to want to deposit the sword at this spot. Now, Now, whatever antiquity item you get is going to correspond with a zodiac symbol. Now, this zodiac symbol is going to have an element, and if you Google it, you can find it, but if you don't want to do all the work, just check the description. My item was Scorpio in the middle, so it was a scorpion, so that is the Scorpio symbol for the blue symbol, and then the green symbol was the fire symbol, and so every zodiac symbol corresponds with an element. Once you have done that, though, input the code, and then a purple soul is going to fall into the ground and create a portal, and what you're going to want to do is stand behind it so that these purple balls go into the portal, and once you do that, another portal is going to appear, and you have to make sure you don't get hit by these purple balls because they can damage you, so make sure you're not in with a lot of zombies. I would recommend decoys as well for this step because it can get extremely hectic, especially if you're doing this late into the rounds like I am. But all you're going to want to do is essentially just stand behind the portal, wait until about 2 to 4 of those soul energy balls go into the portal, and then the last one, once you're done that, you only need to do this 3 times, is at the top level. So again, like I said, be very prepared for this because you can see instantly how the doppelgas is taking me out of this room and how even with a ray gun and with the shotgun, it can be very, very difficult. So I'd really also recommend Frenzied Guard if you're doing this as well. And then the last one, like I said, goes up to the top of the stairs, and the souls will follow you no matter how far you go. So make sure that you actually use that to your advantage and bring all those souls and sort of clump them to each of the portals. That is probably one of the best ways to do this. I would say this is probably one of the hardest parts once you get the sword symbol code in with the zodiac symbol and the elements. But obviously, once you do that, you're pretty much done. And I do believe once you finish up this final soul, the zombies actually sort of like lessen. They don't become a lot. And then once you do that, you follow the purple orb back to where you inputted the zodiac and the elemental symbol, and then once you do that, you literally just click F on it and you have the best sword in Citadel de Mor. This is the Balmung. This is like the Apothecant Servant as a sword. You literally use it and it spawns in a void. And look at this sick animation where they literally have a OG Pack-a-Punch style animation for it. This to me is the best sword, and to be honest, I think this is the one people are going to be using for high rounds, especially because you can literally use this sword to teleport with the special ability. I should also say that every single sword requires 20 kills for you to use the special ability again. It does take quite some time, and I would definitely say the best sword from the worst sword would be the Balmung, number 1, the Shadow Sword, the Burning Sword, the Fire Sword, the Dragon Sword is number 2, the Solais Sword as number 3, Caliburn number 2, and then obviously number 4, unfortunately, is the Durendal Lightning Sword.